One of the questions I get asked a lot is what jig do I use and why I use that particular jig. Well, I've been designing jigs for Strike King for a lot of years, and I've got the Denny Brauer Premier Pro model on the market, which is the only jig I use when I'm flipping and pitching heavy cover. Now, if I go out on deep structure, I will use a football jig there. But this particular jig, I designed it with a big old rattle in it because I want the noise factor to help attract fish. So 100% of the time, I'm using this jig with the rattle. Got a great big hook in it, big old mustad hook, and I got the line tie coming out the front, which I think is extremely important in jig design because I think it allows you to hook more fish and hook them correctly in the right place in the mouth. So that's the design that went into it. There's a lot of other factors, but that's the short version. But one thing I want you to do, when you take these out of the package, I think you can catch more fish if you take the skirt, bunch it up. A lot of people like it long, so we make it that way from the factory. But I personally like it a little shorter, and I'll take a scissors and about a ½ inch behind the back bend of the hook. I will cut that skirt off and just in kind of a semicircle so that it's not hanging so long. And then I'll get myself some type of trailer. In my case, it's the new Strike King Rage Crawl. If I'm using the chunk, I don't have to trim it. If I'm using the regular crawl, I'll trim about that much off it because I don't want it hanging way out behind the bait. I want it fairly compact. That way I can skip it into cover a lot better. I'll thread it on, and something that this rattle does, it helps hold that plastic bait. It actually slides right in there like that. You can see how that fits. And now I end up with a bait that's the skirt is not hindering the action of the crawdad at all, and it's the exact size of what a crawfish is in the water. It certainly appeals to bass, and it will help you catch more fish. And that's your Bass Edge tip.